I'm going to talk about a bit of introduction, background, some objectives, why these forages are important, types of forages that are being adopted, the methodology I used to collect this data. Then I'll be able to share the findings out of what was done. Then some farmers' preferences. I'll talk about conclusion and field differences that I've been able to refer to. So livestock productivity has remained low, especially in our country and in other countries in Africa um, and other places of the globe. Feeding is the major limitation, and this is in both quality and quantity that farmers feed their livestock. Feeding takes about 55 to 70% of the total cost involved. And then livestock plays a major role, especially in smallholder mixed farms. It provides food in terms of milk, meat, and also farmers can be able to get income out of selling milk and selling even the animal itself. So the aim of my work is to explore performance of improved forage grasses for increased milk production, especially in Western Kenya, where farmers depend on milk production. The objective is to compare performance of these grasses compared to others that are being grown locally, indigenous ones. Also to identify gaps in adoption of these improved forage grasses. And number three, to look at some of the ecological factors that will promote or undermine establishment of these grasses, which are from Bracharia species and Panicum species. The reason why we chose to look at this is because these grasses, you can get high yields per unit area of land when you plant them. For example, Bracharia, you can be able to harvest 15 tons of fresh material per harvest, and that is per acre of land. And Panicum, you can get 20 to 40 tons dry matter per harvest per acre of land. Some of these grasses are pest and disease tolerant, especially the mites and the stand disease that is prevalent in the area. Then again, these grasses are climate resilient. Then they have high nutrition content. For Bracharia, about 18% crude protein, and Panicum can range between 8 to 14%, depending on soil fertility. That is according to the study that was done by Mwendia and others. Also, the reason why I chose on this is because of the visits that we have made, and also during the coursework, we were able to discover that farmers are able to produce more milk because they have improved feeding. And this is something that we can also copy from. We improve our feeding and we can be able to produce more milk. So these are some of the grasses that are being adopted by farmers, the improved species, and they are really gaining popularity among smallholder farmers. The methodology I used was data analysis from research conducted in Western Kenya. That is a map of Kenya, and that is where Western region is. And you can see that is the area where most of the research was done. And also some of information I got from the literature review and farmers' testimonials on the performance of these grasses. So, factors that have been triggering adoption and sustainability of these grasses among farmers from this presentation, you can be able to see what is triggering adoption of these forage grasses. Number one is fodder shortage. We have some people want to conserve their land to be able to reduce erosion and other things, and others are doing for economic reasons, maybe to sell to other farmers. And why, the reason why these grasses, some of the farmers are still growing them up to now, is that they are able to get quality fodder year round. They can, others are doing it because they have been selling and getting income out of it. Others are still doing it because of land conservation issues to control soil erosion. And others are doing it because there have been some projects that promise them that if they plant grasses, they can be able to purchase them or can benefit from it. So I was able to contact some farmers to be able to understand the reason why they are doing this. And number one, there is availability of seeds, there is favorable weather, there is good soil, there is some land space, there is knowledge, they have knowledge, and there is good extension from the government, extension staff. So farmers from different areas were able to do some demos, and they were able to see which grass they prefer. So each grass there represents from the first to the last is as per farmer's preference. My conclusion is that evaluation of these forage grasses has shown that different forage grasses perform and produce different quantities or different volumes of biomass, and farmers have different preferences of these grasses. There is a grass there that farmers are growing, napier grass, and even though farmers are growing it and it's producing lower and it is being affected by pests and diseases, there are alternative grasses that farmers can grow to be able to increase their production. And then lastly, I intend, after gathering all this information and learning from the field tours that we have had, I want to go back to my country. When I arrive, I have to do some demonstrations with about 30 dairy farmers group where we work, and this is to go within a year, and I intend to start in September when we are having some short rains, so that I can have my farmers improving, adapting these grasses and raising their production of milk, and also having healthy animals on their farm. So those are some of the references that I was able to refer from when I was doing my work. And I say thank you very much for listening to me. Maybe if you want to know more about this, my email address is there. You can also link up with me. Sepa, thank you.
Thank you.